Hi, I'm Pastor Kurt, and this is your 5-minute Bible study. Today, we're going to be looking at Matthew chapter 20, verses 20 through 28. In this scene, we hear about James and John, two of Jesus' disciples, but we also hear about their mother. Now, we hadn't heard about their mother before. We heard about their father, Zebedee. When Jesus called these fishermen to follow, we heard about them leaving Zebedee in the boat and following Jesus. We didn't hear anything about their mother at that point. Well, now their mother shows up. And their mother has a request for Jesus on behalf of her two sons. Now, it's not clear whether James and John asked their mother to ask Jesus this, or if she's just asking Jesus this on her own. Well, her request is that James and John get seats of honor next to Jesus when he comes into his kingdom. They want power. They want authority. The seats of honor were the ones next to the host. If you think about a banquet, or even think about when you go somewhere and there are certain seats are better than other seats. Think about if you go to a sporting event or a theater performance. There are certain seats that are better than other seats. The mother of James and John wants to make sure that her sons have good seats with Jesus, right next to him, on either side of him. Well, Jesus says that those seats are not his to give, that those seats have already been reserved, so to speak. Which sounds a bit odd to us. Who would end up sitting there? Well, as we read further on in the story, we will hear about two people who are on either side of Jesus. These are the two criminals who are crucified with him, one on either side of him. When the mother of James and John asks this, the focus is that her sons get power and authority. The focus is on what they can get out of Jesus. Sometimes we think the same thing. Sometimes we commit our lives to Jesus, we follow him, but then we think about, okay, what am I going to get out of this? We want a return on our investment, right? If we're going to spend all of our time and energy and resources committing ourselves to this Jesus guy, there's got to be some kind of benefit for us. Sometimes we think of that benefit as heaven after we die. If we live a good life, if we're good people, if we follow Jesus, then we'll get to go to heaven after we die. We're still thinking about what we get out of it. Jesus basically says that's not what's going on here. That's not the point. The point is to follow. The point is to serve. After he denies this request from James and John's mother, he turns to the other disciples and talks about what greatness really looks like. And he says it's not about having power and authority and lording that over others. Instead, it's about serving. Just as Jesus came to serve. That is revolutionary. Back then and today. Today, sometimes we still think that greatness means power and authority and people doing what you want and having the best seats and all this kind of stuff. With Jesus, though, he says greatness means serving others. Greatness can also mean that you serve others and nobody knows about it. That you don't get that recognition and applause and all this kind of thing for what you do. You don't get people looking at you as if you're some big, powerful, important person. No, you're just doing this. You're just serving. You're just showing love because that's what disciples of Jesus do. Maybe that's not the answer that the mother of James and John wanted to hear. In fact, I don't think that is the answer she wanted to hear. Sometimes that's not what we want to hear either. But when we follow Jesus, that's what it's about. It's about serving and loving others. It's not about having the best seats in the house. There's your 5-minute Bible study for the day. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.